the Courier, and obviously we have received our second biggest snowfall of the season in 1 week. The Courier has written about it and received a lot of comments from citizens who have different opinions about how the city has plowed and kept up with snow removal. So I decided to go take a ride with one of the plow drivers and see what they do. When you're doing the intersections, do you have to back up sometimes,
Yes.
like to get the snow out of the way and such?
Yes. We'll do that when we get into the residential. Right now we're just coming around the corner, pushing it off.
Is it easier to do those at night?
Definitely.
Jim told me that it was so you can see the headlights. It's better to, you can identify cars and where they
Just
are.
the traffic, yeah, at night.
Once we plow an area, we usually have to go back in. So a lot of times when people get their driveways cleaned out, we're going to plug it back up the second time, usually during the middle of the night when we get in the residential sections.
Do you guys do a lot of night plowing then as opposed to daytime?
Probably more in the nighttime we do in the daytime. We'll run full shifts at nighttime because the traffic's so much less. And it's easier to get down the residential streets at nighttime.
What about the intersections? Do you do those at night as well?
Yes. And one of the main reasons why you do a lot of intersections at night is when you're in the traffic like that, you can see the headlights. It's a lot easier to see cars, vehicles coming at you.
I mean, some of these blades look pretty big to me. I would imagine it's interesting to maneuver.
I don't know. You just be careful. It's the main thing.
This is our snowplow area and a route map. The fellows down in the street department use this to prioritize the plowing. And there's a color code legend here, and as you can see, a lot of different colored areas here, and within that, the different streets. Now, on the primary routes, all interconnect with the schools and the hospital and the bus routes, so we can take care of those. We have about 194 miles of paved streets in Findlay. At 2 lanes, that's about 400 miles. When you take Main Street, that's 5 lanes. Tiffin Avenue, that's 5 lanes a lot. There are 526 miles of lane pavement that needs plowed in Findlay. It's like driving to St. Louis, Missouri and back.
Well, what are some of the challenges that you guys experience?
40 to 20. Traffic's the main thing.
Okay.
If people give us time to clear the roads, the traffic's the main thing. Then you gotta know where the manholes are sticking up.
You talking parked cars and people driving around?
It's mainly people driving. They get right on your bumper, pass you, get in between you. You know, like a road like this takes 5 trucks, 2 passes. Or a residential street, you know, you'll take 2 passes on each side. And then when it drifts over, you have to go back over it again. You know, we get letters to the editor. People think that you should be able to get everything done in a day.